Well, hey, everybody. We want to talk to you all about the power of quality time. All right.
I'm Lanette.
I'm Sean. We're not just roommates. All right. When was the last time you and your family had some quality time? Okay. Now, if you would, honey, would you like to describe for them what quality time is?
Okay, so quality time is actually maximizing time to spend with, whether it's communicating, discovering something new, going out and just spending time together. And it doesn't have to be like hours. It could be 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you do it right.
15 minutes quality time is better than 30 minutes quantity time. Like if we're all, sometimes our family, however, will do a Netflix binge where we'll watch a TV show together. For instance, we all watched Alias.
3 days.
3 days straight, but we were snowed in. So we have an excuse and we have justification for why we sat there for 3 days straight watching TV.
I mean, we were up to like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And, we couldn't go to work and they couldn't go to school. So.
Yeah. So we sat there and we watched TV the whole time. It was fun.
Yeah.
But we didn't, other than knowing the show and the lines and the episodes and the storyline, we didn't know our own storylines, right? What's going on in my daughter's life? What's happening in my wife's mind right now? What's going on in my heart? And that's really what quality time is about. So if you want to enhance your quality time, and not just the quantity of the time, what I would challenge you to do is prepare questions beforehand.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really, right now, there's so many blogs out there on how to have meaningful conversation and so on and so forth. Man, just Google 10 questions to get conversation started with your spouse or something like that. And I mean, it's just going to open your eyes that if you ask something other than,
how was your
day? Yeah, you know what I mean? That typical kind of thing. And not that that's bad, but some people do better with that question than others.
Okay, so for instance, what I used to do with my kids is we used to pick them up from school and I used to ask them, how was your day? Mm-hmm. And they always used to say, almost in unison, good. And I was wanting a little bit more than that. And I think they did too, but they really didn't know how to just kind of communicate. So what I told them is, listen, I'm going to throw you a boomerang or a frisbee. And the point of that is I throw it to you and you're supposed to give me something back. Mm-hmm. And so if I say, hey, how was your day? And if you say good, that is a closed statement. Mm-hmm. Then I have to say, well, what do you mean by good? Or I have to go in more detail. Yeah. But if I say, how was your day? Then you can go on and you can say,
hey, my day was pretty good. But then she could ask, what if you ask? It's a bad question. You need better questions. So the question may be, hey, baby, what was the most interesting thing that happened to you today? And what it does is it causes them to kind of pause for a second. It throws you off because you got to actually think. And then when they go into okay, what was the hardest thing that you did today? Because ultimately we all get stuck in this same routine. And we anticipate certain questions and we think it to mean hi, bye.
Right.
It's kind of like how sometimes I love you may need to be expressed a little bit different because we're just so used to saying it. And so what I want to challenge all our couples out there, husbands, wives, please think about this. How can we enhance the quality of the time? It may be play a board game rather than watch a TV show. Mm-hmm. And pull out the old Monopoly. Pull out and don't make it so I'm very competitive. And when it comes to board games, I win.
We don't like playing trivia games with him.
I know the answers.
He's like a thesaurus dictionary almanac.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So I have fun. So I have to tone down the competitor in me to make it to where it's not all about winning, but I'm still getting me one. You hear me? And so we have a good time together by playing those board games.
But no one can beat me at Connect 4 and Uno.
True. So aside from that, you could do something like, hey, grab the dog, everybody go for a walk. You're going to get out the house, pull them kids out their room and make them walk outside or go bowling together. There are games, activities, parks, sitting at the dinner table together and eating.
That's actually what I was going to say. If your schedule is too tight during the week just to even kind of get a day off and go do something, then I would try to maximize the dinner table. Mm-hmm. they have to put their phones away.
Yeah.
Don't bring their phones to the table.
Yeah, they can't do it.
And look at your kids in the eye. Look at your spouse in the eye.
Especially with your kids, because when kids, I mean, they live like this.
Yeah.
Mine do. They watch Netflix on their phone. I mean, they just kind of looking like this. They be on YouTube looking at videos and all the rest of this other stuff. And so the challenge is to say, look, this is a no phone zone for a minute, because it's about us looking at each other's eyes. It's about us talking to each other. And that's why I feel like if you don't do it well, they won't be motivated to do it again. Mm-hmm. If we're trying to force them to answer, it won't be as good. But if we can prepare better questions and literally give them time to answer it, look them in the eye, pay attention to them, affirm them, have compliments for them, like those things really can begin to strengthen a home. And that way it's not just like the only time you talk to them is when you're telling them what to do,
right,
or when you're telling your spouse what they need to do or what you're about to do.
Discussing bills.
Yeah, and that becomes like the only conversation. That's not very intimate at all. We want you all to be more than roommates. And so we named this ministry not just roommates, because we want to see you increase the intimacy in your relationship. And so sometimes it's a matter of preparedness.
Yeah.
Preparing before you enter into a date night with your spouse. So y'all going to eat. You pick a nice restaurant. Y'all get there to the restaurant. Don't be just sitting there like this, just looking, or worse, on the phone. Put that thing down. Look at your spouse and say, hey, babe, what are you dreaming about this year? What is something that I could be doing a little bit better?
Yeah.
You know, changing the conversation to where it's just a more powerful, intimate discussion. I think it's going to boost the level of relationship, and relational community leads to happy people, and happy people lead to a happy home, and a happy spouse lead to good sex.
Yeah, we got there.
Sure did.
There.
Yep.
We did. We did.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Subscribe, like it. Bye.